ID card. Please give this a due pass. Thank you.
Is there discussion? Representative Sands.
Madam Chair, members of the body, I serve on the committee that heard this bill, and I'm one of the no votes, and would like to tell you a little bit why. And I have a question for the sponsor, first of all, please. For the sponsor.
Sponsor.
I do not yield.
Okay. That's his right. Madam Chair, I'd still like to speak to the bill. First of all, I think that it's accurate to say that under the current law, that only citizens and those non-citizens who are legally in the country can obtain a Montana driver's license. That's currently the law. This doesn't change that situation. And that currently the Department of Motor Vehicles does go through a verification process that already addresses the issue that this bill claims to address, to make sure that people who get driver's licenses here are qualified to get driver's licenses here. We have a current system in place. It's already paid for. It works. The department didn't say there was a huge hole, that we have a lot of folks out there with driver's license that are not entitled to them. I think the cost and the purpose of this bill is not related to a problem that even exists. And so for that reason, I do oppose this bill.
Is there further discussion? Representative Sesso.
Mr. Chairman, I have a question for the sponsor.
Does the sponsor yield?
The sponsor does not.
Madam Chair, I have a question for the Majority Leader, McGilvery.
Majority Leader, will you yield?
Madam Chair, I'll yield.
Madam Chair, Representative McGilvery, it says here that you got to have this national ID card. Am I to understand that the majority is in favor of the federal ID card controlling our life here in Montana?
Representative McGilvery.
Madam Chair, no, not at all. What the majority, or those who vote for this bill, including myself, would be in favor of is having an ability to check if a person applying for a driver's license is an alien. Because with a driver's license, you can vote, and that's a primary concern for a person like me who cares that we preserve the integrity of our system of voting.
Representative Sesso.
Well, thank you for not answering the question that I asked, but I would once again ask the Chair if the sponsor of the bill would yield to a question.
Will the sponsor yield to a question?
Yes, I'll yield to a question.
Representative Sesso.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Representative, what is it that would bar someone who is a Montana citizen, already been a Montana citizen, but does not have a driver's license? Now, how are they going to comply with the bill and still have the opportunity to vote?
It's very simple. If you're a Montana citizen, you probably have a birth certificate. If you have a birth certificate, you can get an ID card.
Representative Sesso.
Madam Chair, I would like to speak to the bill.
Representative Sesso.
I think that we are putting a layer on a person's ability to vote. Now, there doesn't seem to be any problem right now with the system that we have. There are several forms of ID that you can use to identify yourself, and this seems to limit those forms of ID unnecessarily. It also is in direct contradiction to the actions of this House on the proud day in 2009 when we said no to the federal ID. And now here we are passing a law that relies, or would ask certain individuals to rely on obtaining a federal ID. As a state, we said no to that, and what I have heard over the first 21 days, 22 days of this session, and the Montana heritage is that we do not want to be bound to federal regulation and federal guidelines like federal IDs. This bill is not necessary. And I would ask for a no vote.
Is there further discussion? There being no further discussion, does the sponsor wish to close?
I would love to. This bill has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with the federal ID process. Let me explain it to you for those that don't understand it. It's very simple. When you legally enter the United States in some way, they give you a federal ID. You will go to the Department of Motor Vehicles, of which they're a proponent of this bill, and you will show them your federal ID, and then they will check it through the SAVE program. Then after they check it through the SAVE program, they will determine whether that ID is correct, that it's not fraudulent.
Representative Sesso.
Still the thunder of the closing. One of my members is not allowed.
Hey, wait, there's a point of order here.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Point of order, Representative Howard, I goofed.
Thank you.
We had someone that was on the queue to speak to the bill, and I mistakenly overlooked her. May she speak to the bill?
I'd like to close.
Representative McGilvery.
Madam Chair, I think it would be appropriate to let the representative speak to the bill, and Representative Howard can close.
I apologize. Due to my inexperience, I